Okay, so today's Nam Academy is on an important concept. It's called the double life. Okay? Double life. It's only called a double life, but most people have a triple life, or a quadruple, or many, many more. Some people have like a 10,000 life. Every single person they know, they behave differently with each and every one of them. They think they're smart. ਉਹ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਤੇਜ ਹੈ ਹਰੇਕ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਢੰਗ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਤੇ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਢੰਗ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ They think they're smart, and they are smart. But you think they're smart enough? Nobody's smart enough. And so when you're leading two kinds of lives, we call that a double life. This language comes from Alcoholics Anonymous, but and that's basically, the idea is you're leading your legitimate life and then your addicted life. But actually it's just any kind of life that's not you. You say, basically say one thing to one person and another to someone else. You ever have someone like that in your life who says one thing to you and then something else to someone else? ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਰ ਕੋਈ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦਾ? ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ. Yeah, it's common, right? We all have that. And so basically in order to do that properly, you need to be very careful about the information that you manage. In order to lead a double life, you must become very careful what you say. Because what you say, you'll have to remember what you said before. And how you said it.
Get caught up in lies.
And in order to avoid getting caught up in lies, you have to be really, really smart. Say this at the dinner table, say this at work, say this over there. It starts very young in life. Usually parents have shown how to do this. And in trying to have so many lives, you lose who you are. So you have so many people, right? You have so many people, and you keep so many stories straight, but the more you do that, the more you lose you. You see, anything that's not you creates stress. The further you get from you creates stress. This is a double life, or a triple life, or a quadruple life. Do as I say, not as I do. ਉਹੀ ਕਰੋ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਦਾ. That's what parents say a lot. Yeah, I'm doing the wrong thing, but do as I say, not as I do. And basically what you're telling your child is to sort of hide things, to manipulate things. And, in this day and age, how we got started on this topic is in medical school, 13, 14 years ago, 15 years ago, they told us something important. They said to us, they talked about patients record sometimes, they're doctors. And back then it was just sometimes. And then they talked to us about, what to do when someone wants to record you. But something's changed. Nowadays everyone records everybody. It's so easy. The technology is so... Back then, it was like big clunky things and you gotta... Now it's like tiny things. You could fit a recording device anywhere. And people get stressed out about this. Doctors get stressed out about this. Oh, what if they're recording me? Oh no, what's that? Listen, they're probably, studies show 50% of patients record their doctors. At least. That's just, and they don't tell us. Why is that going to be stressful? That's going to be stressful if you don't do the same thing all the time. When you do something different on camera than what you do off camera, that's a double life. That's stress. Then you have to start thinking, oh, okay, what did I say? Oh my goodness, what did I say on the YouTube channel that I record? On the YouTube channel, basically, mostly people just get the same thing they get at the center when I teach. I can't go back to the double life anymore. It's too hard. I know too many people. I talk to too many things. Some people wonder how I do with families that know, because I have families here. How do you keep straight what you tell this person and what you don't tell this person, this family member? And my guiding principle is I avoid the double life as much as I possibly can. This is the highest stress existence, and everybody with an addiction, their addiction is sourced in their double life. They're not living by a consistent set of principles. Oh, ek nahi rehndे, oh vakra rehndé, gurdware aime karde, grocery store aime. And when you're not living with a consistent set of principles that are guided by higher state of being, you're going to make mistakes. And those mistakes, they kind of joke about this, right? Like, some affairs are like that, right? You have an affair, someone has an affair, like, Punjabi ch affair nu ki kehndé? Huh? Swand? Swand. Yeah, so swand. Like a person goes to work, someone who's staying at home invites someone else, they get into it, and the person comes home early. Oh, I didn't know you were coming home early. It's never a ha thing, first of all. It's always a deep betrayal. But in the music video, it's like ha. But the reason that kind of thing happens is because you become comfortable. You let your guard down. You don't think anyone's going to read your phone. You think no one's going to record you without you knowing. And you start getting comfortable. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ comfortable ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ comfort ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਲਤੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ. And then when the mistake happens, then that adds up all the little stressors, right? Little stressor, and then it becomes a big one. When the wife says, I want a divorce. मैं divorce लाना है. छोटियां गल्लां फिर वड्डियां जुड़ जांदियां. That's what happens all the time with a double life. Yeah, I remember one guy, unfortunately he's passed away. Double life killed him. He wanted to be sober. He was going to all the meetings. He was doing all the things. But he was drug dealing. Doctor, I'm not doing the drug. Nasha ਵੇਚਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਪਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ. And he was going to all the meetings, like he was doing his prayers, everything. And his plan was to use the drug dealing money to go to school. I told him for years, I was like, dude, you're going to die. You cannot use blood money to get anything good in life. That's just, कोई भी खराब काम तो पैसे ताड़े को रहने नहीं. No bad money is ever going to be useful to you. Don't make bad money. Because you can try to save it in your retirement fund, it's not going to stay there. That retirement fund will go corrupt. Someone will steal it. Another drug dealer guy, he was like, Dr. Gill, By the age of 25, I had like $3 million. And he was like in his 30s when I met him. And he was like, but you know what I learned? It doesn't matter how, just somewhere in all the cars and the girls and everything, it's just all like, whoosh. And so at the age of 32, I have no education and I have nothing. That's the trouble with bad money. Bad money doesn't stick around. So, jehde kharaab paise ho rehndे nahi. That's why in all religions they say, earn your money honestly, because that money stays with you. Okay? Money that's earned in a double life will not stay. Anything. Relationships sustained in a double life. Well, think about it, right? Some foolishness that I've seen. Like a husband has two, like a mistress and like a wife, but they don't know about each other. 1 year goes by, 2 years, 2 saal, 5 saal, 10 saal, 10 years. The stress bubble is only getting bigger, and at some point he's going to make a mistake, because communication is 99% nonverbal. All you husbands out there, you cannot lie to your wife. I'm going to tell you that right now. Women can smell it. They may not say it, but it is obvious. And to the women, I'm going to tell you that nobody can, you just know. Everybody knows when someone's not telling them the truth. At some level. It's usually under layers of denial. So ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਸ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ but ਡੂੰਘੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਧੋਖਾ ਕਰਦਾ. And we don't fully trust them. We don't know why. So over the 10 years, these two people know each other. This triangle is getting there, but the stress bubble is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But you know what wife wants to be cheated on? No wife. So what a lot of wives do is la 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 la. Don't see it. It's not happening in front of me. It's not happening, because he wouldn't do that. No. It would have been better if she called him out on it. But a lot of times it's that denial. And so the stress bubble grows. I'm just trying to tell you how this happens. Stress bubble grows and then it pops. Something happens and it pops. Ekdam tot janda, and then it's just, she kicked me out. I'm homeless now. I'm in jail. Yeah, you were a good drug dealer for 5 years. You never went to jail, but that doesn't mean you're not going to go to jail next year. No matter how good you are, you're never good enough. At some point, you're going to make a mistake. And one of the troubles with the double life is the longer you go, it's a weird psychological thing, but the longer you go with a bigger bubble, the more denial there is that it's going to burst someday. So I'll give you an example. This is like addictive thinking 101. So a person who goes, who has like a 10-year affair, okay, 10 years of an affair, so one karda 10 saal vaste. The longer that goes on, the more, oddly enough, the more confident the person becomes that it's never going to be discovered. Jinna jada time vaste karda chorich te fade nahi janda, onna jada confidence vadda. Same thing with criminal activity. The first one you didn't get caught, second one you didn't get caught, you're getting confident. And it builds in this idea that, oh, I'm never going to get caught. But the bubble will always burst. And it's going to be worse and worse and worse. And those of you who know someone is lying to you, but you're not making it any better. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਵਧੀਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ, ਲੁਕੋ ਕੇ. If your kid's obviously doing drugs the mother is like, oh no, my son would never do drugs. The longer that goes on, the worse it gets. The harder it becomes, because this bubble will burst someday. And in that drug dealer's case, he died. You can't feed someone's addiction and do recovery. You just can't. The person who leads a double life tries to pray, God probably laughs. He's like, come on, you poser, like, get real. I'm not going to listen to you. Who wants to listen to a liar? And I know everybody has secrets. In AA, there's a good saying. We are as sick as the secrets that we keep. उन्ना ही बीमार है जिन्हें असी अंदर लकोए हुए हैं असी उन्ना ही बीमार है You keep secrets. Your meditation, your recovery, your treatment centers, your counseling for your addiction or your mental health, it's not going to work as good when you keep the secrets. Because, like, what kind of ego trip is a secret anyways? Like, seriously, you think in all the history of humanity, no one's done what you've done? Really? You think a psychologist hasn't heard most of it before? Most of us have heard, but we still keep the secrets. We think, no one could do that. Oh, no. Everyone lies. The bubble is full of shame, right? Sharm de naal bhariya hoya. And that's why you don't want it to pop it, is because it's a bunch of shame inside. But that's just an illusion. It's not shame. It's just energy. And when you fess up and you say, yeah, I did that, makita. When you get help, you see recovery vaste help, and then all of a sudden the shame goes away. So in AA they have the saying, we are sick as the secrets that we keep. The secrets are what keep the double life alive. You shed the secret, you shed the double life, and you become a single life being. Tusi kalli life wale ban janne. And life is easy when you have a single life. Everyone around you knows what they can expect. सारे ਨੂੰ पता ਕੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਰਹੋਗੇ. They may not like it, but at least they know that it's not going to be hidden. So for that reason, when we say stress is 95% of our own making, right? We say that a lot. It hasn't happened in a while, but I usually have someone say, how can you blame the victim? I'm not blaming the victim, it's just true. If you're stressed out, most of it's probably of your own making. Of the situation, because stress is all about perspective. It's not about bad things. I was doing a training course on the weekend about PTSD. You know, veterans go into the same war, half come out with like trauma, PTSD, half come out fine. They both saw body parts and bad things, half turned to addiction, half were okay. But both were victimized by horrible things, because it's not about that. ਧੋਖੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੁੰਦੇ. It's about the double life. It's about the secrets and the lies and the things that we've done or concealed for others. And you know what? It doesn't matter if you haven't done anything. If you're, for example, a mother and your son is a drug addict, and you're like concealing that from the world, that's it's gonna eat you, like cancer. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਖਾ ਜੂਗਾ ਜੇ ਜਵਾਕ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਤੋਂ help ਲੈਂਦੇ ਨਾ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਆ, it's gonna eat you. You keep it a family secret, or the molestation that uncle did or someone, whatever, right? We keep secrets in families, and it forces the double life. If you have secrets, you force a double life. Don't even have to try. I'm not saying tell everything to everybody, but you all know that there's people you probably should tell stuff to that you don't. There's probably people who should know something that you don't say. There's always like that, right? ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣਾਉਣੀ, ਪਰ ਹਰੇਕ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੱਸਦੇ. That's the secret. That's the stress. So that's the choice, right? What recovery does, it makes it easier to not keep secrets. In recovery, we learn there's no shame. No shame. Humans do bad things. Hurt people. That's just how it is. That's why you go to meetings. That's what you hear. You know, when you're in confession and the priest is listening to you, you're saying, I thought this, I did this. And then what does the priest say? Say, God's forgiveness of, whatever the priest says. But there's no shame, because chances are the priest probably thought the same thing. And every human is the same, right? Different lives, but same principles. Har ek aadmi same hi hai. And I'm just saying, as soon as you start keeping the secret, the bubble starts to grow. And then a double life is needed to maintain. So that's why it's not double life, it's many lives that people hold. A lot easier if you just tell the truth, okay? Truth is the antidote that keeps it from growing. And if it's grown to this side, the sooner you, because that's what it is, right? Truth is like the pin. The pin that pops it is the truth. And the sooner you do it, the faster it all heals. And if you've done it, it's better you not continue to do it. And then I have lots of people, they come here for like 2 weeks, they do recovery, they're sober, they're good, and then they start lying again. Because lying is a habit. It's like an addiction. Keeping the secrets is like an addiction. And as soon as you start, you don't start drinking then, but about a year later, you'll be back into the bottle. That's why in AA is step 10. We continue to take a daily inventory. And when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Pop the bubble. In AA, they understand. Unnu samjh aa gayi. Jadon vi jhoot bolan lagda, udon hi sach dasso. If you spoke a lie, just before sleep, do an inventory. Did I say any lies today? If you did, pick up the phone, say, sorry, and by the way, taking something that's this big, I made $10 today, and telling someone I made 100, that's a lie. That's a lie. Or letting someone assume you made $100 when you only made 10, that's also a lie. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਝੂਠ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਭੁਲੇਖਾ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਗਲਤ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਝੂਠ ਹੈਗਾ. Lie is a very big definition. So, any questions on the double life?
So when the person discontinues to tell lies, then and continues to say the truth, then that means the double life stops there.
Yes. Doesn't it? Sometimes it's hard. Both okay, especially in complex family structures. So what she's saying is asking is, as soon as the truth is told, does the double life start? Yeah, that one does stop. If you have 100 of them, well, now you have 99. But that's better than 100. So a lot of times in 12-step programs, right, we're like telling all of our truths. That's good. You're popping all those bubbles. Keep it up. You got a lot of work to do, but it's not endless. And you should try it. You know, make a list for yourself. What's 3 things you've never told anybody ever in your life? Everyone has a couple. Never told anybody. 3 ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸੋਚੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੱਸੀਆਂ. Got it? And then make a plan in the next week to tell somebody. You can choose whoever. Tell God if no one else.
But if you're not continuing to do that thing and they don't want to talk about it, still the double life ends, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to talk if you're not continuing to do those
Yeah.
bad stuff.
If that's true, yes.
Right? If that is true.
If that is true, yes.
And one more thing, if the person continues
Now remember, a lot of times, so like for example, a husband had an affair on a wife, okay? The wife has the shame of having that, and the husband has the shame of having that. Do you think that's going to go away with just one telling? No. It's a deep issue. It's a betrayal. And it will tie into all previous betrayals. Secrets tie into each other. So I wish it wasn't so complicated, but secrets, they form a web inside of our mind. So jhoot andar mix ho jande hai. And so undoing it requires a daily practice. Connect to self, connect to others, commit to daily practice. And in any secret, you have to achieve 5 things to actually burst it fully. So I think I talk about this. This is in forgiveness. Because that's really, all secrets have to do with forgiveness. Forgiving and so forgiveness has 5 aspects. If you want to actually let something go, you got to first do these 5 things. Forgive self, forgive other, forgive the situation. Hey, you know what? Like affairs, since we're on the topic, संबंध बाबत गल करते हैं. एक बंदे का कसूर नहीं है. It's not one person's problem. A lot of wives will say, he's having the affair. I'm not popular for saying it, but did you make time for him? Did you do your part? Honestly. It takes 2 to tango. Marital problems are a multi-tango thing. You can't just dance alone in a marriage. If you have a marital problem, it takes at least 2 to be a part of that. And if you're a big extended family, usually there's interference and this and that, right? It's a web. It's never one person who just goes out and has an affair. It doesn't work that way. And when we get into it, there's like long periods of dissatisfaction and broken promises and this and that and everything else. But it comes down into like, oh, he made the end bad decision. But actually, if that family system wants to heal, you have to air the truth of it. That's why it's not as simple as telling the truth, because it's usually a situation, immigration trauma. People under chronic stress for long periods of time will do bad things. Like that. So, forgive the self, forgive the other, forgive the situation, forgive who set up the situation, because everyone's angry at God. Whether you believe in God or not doesn't matter. Everyone's angry at whoever who's made it all happen. How can you be angry at God? Trust me, you can be. And if most people are in denial about it, but it's just natural. If someone punches you in the face, how can you not be angry at them? And if someone orchestrates the punching them in the face, how can you not be angry at them? Unless you're a saint. You might be a saint. You might be. That's good. Everyone has a saint inside them somewhere. And then the final thing is learn the lesson. Then you can say the bubble's been popped. Then you can say, yeah, if you don't do any more of that, then it will stop. Yes. But this is a process. It's not a simple process. It's a decision of how to live life. Because secrets are webbed into each other. It's too complicated. It's subconscious. It's deep. And so, a daily practice aimed at these 5 things will eventually pop the bubbles for you. Yes. And then, even though the husband is philandering and doing bad things, the wife can be content and calm. Because she's aired her side of it. She's forgiven. And then she can make a decision with a clear head. As opposed to spend all his money kind of, that's like a song, right? Like, isn't that a song? Like there's a song about he cheated on and then now spend all his money. That's just
Every 90s music video.
Yeah, 90s music video. You remember the one? There's a
I don't know, I feel
Hit
like
'em Up or something. I can't remember
R.
anyway.
Kelly was in
Yeah, something. R. Kelly, there you go.
it.
R. Kelly made it into the YouTube video. There you go. We made it large. So, does that answer the question? It's a very important question. It does start with just telling the truth. It does start with just opening it, and usually the universe is very kind. One opportunity will lead to another, will lead to another. Healing paths are ahead of us. They're always ahead. ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਰਾਹ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਸੱਚ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਮੌਕਾ ਲਿਆਊਗਾ ਦੂਜਾ ਸੱਚ ਬੋਲਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ So you tell one truth, it'll lead you down to a path where you can say another one. And your life will become less and less complicated. Okay? That's how you weave your way out of a double life. I'm sorry, it's not overnight. But it is real. And if you have addiction, you got to get out of the double life. Simple as that. Maintaining the double life is death. Sooner or later. If you don't have addiction, well, some people would say, I'm lucky I don't have an addiction. Actually, I would say you're unlucky because now no one's... you're not being forced into resolving your problems. Now you have to do it on your own. And that's harder to do, because who wants to do that? But it's going to be good for you to do it. Any other questions? Other question?
Can I give a real life example, because nobody knows me?
Just be brief, though.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Sunday, family reunion, Thanksgiving dinner, the whole works. I have 4 sisters and a brother and a mother who's still alive. We all got together and did a family picture. Everybody got sent to family. Can you imagine how many double and triple lives are in that picture? Don't even touch it, because I don't know. But I know in my own case, there's several. But we still had the wherewithal to all be in the same place at the same time, and some people had to travel many, many miles to get there. And and take a picture together, and everybody looked happy. How many bubbles have been broken over the years is the question. I don't know. And some not intentionally, they just happen. Is that success, or is that just getting on with life?
Listen, I think that's life is like that. You don't have control over anyone else's life. You have control over yours. And at any point you can decide to choose a simpler life. Any family photo together, yeah, there's a lot of history behind every family photo. Ikkathe shadi vich vyah ikkathe sare khade hai na. But there's a lot of history there, a lot of and so we just do what you can, right? Do your part. Tell your truth.
All I know is that every relationship, every combination in that picture it's got its own life. It's got its own truth, its own feelings hurt, and its own things. Every one. And so 7 factorial is what? Thousands.
And and I think this is what I'm going to say is, we have a saying in the West, right? She's going to take that to the grave, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of double lives get taken to the grave. That's why I say the people who are doing recovery are the lucky ones. Vast majority of whatever's out there is just double, triple, quadruple lives that have not been discovered and have no reason to become. So what do? They take it to the grave, but then they pass it on. And then they destroy more people. Or lokan nu kharab kar de. That's what it is. But you don't have to be a part of that. Or if you've been a part of that, you can own your part and get free of that. And that is low stress living. And then the obsessions will be less. The nightmares will be less. The guilt will be less. Everything will be less. Because recovery, that's the problem. That's why we do it all. It's so that we can enjoy our life, our simple life, and avoid the endless sort of game. And not everyone's that lucky in this life. Maybe next life.
I'm surprised he even got invited.
There you go.
You know?
All right, good. We'll leave it at that for today. Any other questions?
No, I'm okay because I'm single life.
We're single life. There we go. That's the spirit. All right, thank you, everyone. We'll leave it at that. Stressful subject. Do some self-care or something, and my apologies if I offended anybody. But there you go. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.